Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Dude Nurse Show. In this episode, we're going to talk about thinking outside the box when it comes to your health and the way that we eat. If you look on the internet, there are literally endless fad diets, lose 10 pounds in a day, beach diets, all this kind of crap. There's medicine that you can take, or that supposedly helps you just burn off 75 pounds of fat overnight. In reality, it's actually a really simple formula to lose weight. You must burn more calories than you take in. Pretty simple, right? But unfortunately, for a lot of people, it's a lot more complex. Nobody really likes counting calories and tracking all of these things. Well, that's part of it, So if you don't want to put in the work, then don't bitch and complain about the results or the lack thereof. When we say thinking outside the box, what we're talking about is literally a box. A lot of people, especially Americans, we're so programmed to have everything done now. And I, myself included, I can't say that I would be excluded from this. I'm very impatient, and I'm a very busy person. So a lot of times, I'll take the path of least resistance and maybe go through a drive-through and grab something, or I'll get one of those boxes of meals where Hamburger Helper comes to mind. A lot of these things that come in a box, it's hey, add your favorite protein, or add this or add that, when in reality the stuff that comes in that box is dog shit when it comes to our health. It's loaded with salt, it's loaded with fat, it has virtually no redeeming qualities in terms of nutrition. But it's fast, it's cheap, it's convenient, but we're kind of eating ourselves into an early grave. We're also going to talk about a couple of other things, misconceptions really, when it comes to the way we eat. The first thing that comes to mind, portion sizes or portion control. For example, here we have Tony the Tiger, Frosted Flakes, right? Good stuff. Giant size, enough to feed a family of 78. Okay? So, if you want to have a bowl of cereal in the morning, alright, no problem. But, where the problem comes in, this is not what is implied by having a bowl of cereal. Yes, this is a bowl. Yes, I can put cereal in it. However, when we look at the nutrition label, okay, there's something called serving size. All right, so the serving size on here is 1 cup, 39 grams, so about 8 ounces. This is, I don't even know if it says how many. This is a massive bowl. Okay, so unless you're Craig on Friday, this isn't what you should have. And this is, of course, hyperbole, but a lot of people will have, a huge bowl of cereal and think, oh yeah, I had 1 bowl of cereal. No, you had 3 or 4 bowls of cereal, 3 servings of cereal. The same thing can be applied to, well, what'd you have to drink today? Well, I had a Coke. Okay. But it was in this. This is 24 ounces, okay? And usually a serving size of Coke is like 12 ounces, okay? So this would be 2 Cokes. So instead of you thinking you had just the 45 or 48 whatever grams of sugar that were in that Coke, you can double that. Okay, so I think you guys kind of see where I'm going with this. You know, knowing what is the recommended serving size and then sticking to it, you know, or somewhere thereabout. You know, if you want to be really, really strict, you can, you know, measure and weigh everything. I realize that's a pain in the ass, but I mean, seriously, folks, when we're talking about a bowl and a glass of Coke or a glass of whatever juice, this is obviously more than one. Okay, so knowing your serving sizes is crucial, because again, all of the nutritional content is listed here on the label, and it's broken down per serving size. Okay, and just to note, there's about 24 servings in here, so there's 24 cups of cereal. If I had filled this up, I could probably get through this whole box. If I had this every day, I could probably get through this whole box in 2 or 3 days. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Another thing that I want to talk about that is immensely popular are these blenders and NutriBullets and all this other kind of stuff that talks about helping our bodies break down and better extract the nutrients and all this other kind of mumbo jumbo. Guess what, folks? Our bodies already do that. They've been doing it long before blenders were invented. Okay, so unless you have some sort of like inborn error of metabolism or some other type of condition that some way alters your ability to absorb nutrients, like say like a pernicious anemia or you know, certain other conditions like maybe Crohn's disease or, you know, something like that. Our bodies don't have a problem breaking down things and, you know, extracting the nutrients that we need. In fact, a lot of things. That's why we have a digestive system. So when we chew, the digestive process starts right here in the mouth. As soon as you start to chew, it's called mastication. No, I didn't say masturbation. I said mastication, to masticate or to chew. When we start to chew our food, that begins the breakdown process. We swallow the food, it goes down our esophagus into our stomach. Our stomach secretes acid and some other things that further start to break down. Absorption begins in the small intestine and so on and so forth throughout our digestive system. And then what's waste, we pee and poop out. Okay? So, as I said, our bodies already know how to do that. So, sometimes altering the way that things are meant to be absorbed can cause more harm than good. Like, for example, there's a reason that certain medications may have what's called an enteric coating. That means that it's meant to survive in the stomach a little bit longer. So if you crush that pill, then you've basically taken away its ability to survive in the stomach, and it's going to be pretty much immediately released. Again, like with extended release tablets, you know, you're not supposed to crush those for obvious reasons. So you don't need a special bullet or blender or whatever to break down vegetables and fruits and all of these other kind of things. Just eat. It's what we know how to do. You know, it's an evolutionary imperative that we are able to break down and assimilate these nutrients. If not, we wouldn't have been around for as long as we have been. Okay. One of the next things I want to talk about is when we talk about juicing. Okay. A lot of people, same thing with the blenders, they push these juice diets, these juice cleanses, these, juicers. While I myself love, like one of my favorite things on earth is fresh squeezed orange juice. It is like heaven in a cup. I absolutely love it. But again, we can kind of circle back to what we were talking about earlier, like portion control. So if you have an 8-ounce glass of fresh squeezed orange juice, I got more props. I don't have any regular size oranges. These are like the little cuties or navel oranges or whatever the hell they're called. So I can get about 4 or 5 of these in my hand. So it would take about 4 or 5 of these to equal one, normal sized orange. And it takes about 5 oranges, maybe even 7, depending on where they are in the ripening process. You would have to squeeze that many to get the juice enough to make 1 glass of fresh squeezed juice. Now, when you do that, you are bypassing a lot of things that are really good and important for our body. Number one, when you peel and eat these things, it takes time, right? So it controls our ability to kind of just start shoveling in, right? That's why, like, if you're going to have nuts, like pistachios, I love pistachios, peanuts, love peanuts, it's always encouraged for you to eat them in the shell, because when you're eating them, you could grab just a handful of, shelled nuts and just shovel them in your mouth. So it's a way to control hunger and slow down the process of us just shoveling in food. So if we take 5 regular size oranges or 20 to 25 of these, no one is going to sit down and eat 20 to 25 of these in a setting. It's just not going to happen, okay? But you've just basically had all of the sugar that was in, that many when you just squeeze it and throw away the rest. Inside of oranges, there's a lot of fiber and vitamins and other things in there that help to promote satiety or satiation whenever we're eating and drinking. So if you just squeeze the juice and gulp it down, and I want to say there's somewhere between 80 to 100 milligrams of sugar in a normal sized orange. So let's just say we'll go on the low side, 80 milligrams. If you have 5 oranges of just the juice, that's 400 milligrams of sugar that you just consume just like that. And it's fructose, obviously, it's in fruit, but our bodies aren't all that great at telling the difference. We know, our bodies know that it's sugar. So that's a ton of calories, a ton of sugar into your system, boom, just like that. And again, no one is going to sit down and eat 5 whole oranges. Okay, you might eat 1, okay, because you got to peel it and get off all the little skin and all that, and then split them apart and eat them. So all that fiber and everything again helps to promote satiety or satiation, making us feel like we're full. So people talk about these juice cleanses like they're God's gift, and you have to take it with a grain of salt, because again, like if you're a diabetic, there's nothing really wrong with you eating fresh fruits and vegetables and things, but you have to do it in moderation. You have to be careful. If you want to have an orange, by all means have an orange, but don't compare. When you compare that with an 8-ounce glass of fresh squeezed orange juice, you see the difference in the sugar content. And again, that one orange is going to hold you over and make you feel a little more full than if you had 5 oranges, just the juice. So 400 milligrams of sugar, and you're still starving. You haven't really had any food, nothing, no fiber, no nothing to promote that satiety that we all need, when we're hungry. So I just want you guys to be aware at some of the pitfalls that, you know, a lot of these commercials and things are trying to sell us on. They're selling us on, you know, this miracle kind of stuff, and it just our bodies just don't work that way, folks. You can't fast for 2 or 3 days and, you know, expect to lose all this weight, because if you start denying yourself food, our metabolism is going to slow down. Our bodies aren't stupid, you know, so we can't trick them into losing weight. As I said in the very beginning of this, we need to burn more calories than we take in, and we need to be careful about how we're taking in our food and being mindful of the portion sizes, okay? And of course, exercise, walking, jogging, swimming, riding a bike. All of these kinds of things are phenomenal things that we can do to be a little more active rather than being sedentary. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you get something out of it. Tune in until next time. We'll talk about some other stuff, some other things that we could do. Until next time, the Dude Nurse out.